Earlier this week, some pages came out from a Batman comic from a series called Batman the Knight, which is a Chip Zdarsky written series retelling Batman's origin story, and it had a lot of people worried and some people excited because in it looked like it was going to be hinted that Batman, or Bruce Wayne rather, was bi-curious or bisexual. So this would be big and also would line up with what DC has been doing a lot recently, because a lot of characters have been changing sexual orientations lately, or reveals have been happening. So this would not be out of the ordinary. It's one of those things where you wouldn't expect them to do it with Batman. That's what I never thought, because lately we've had Green Arrow. Well, Green Arrow's son Connor Hawke was revealed to be asexual. Superman's son John Kent was revealed to be bisexual, and Tim Drake, third Robin, was revealed to be bisexual. So these are some of these characters are like John Kent is one of the biggest characters in like the last decade. So that was a big reveal. Same with Tim Drake. Connor Hawke's not as big because while a great character, he never really had that popularity. But it was one of those things where it's like, okay, they're doing this to these characters. This is going to keep happening a lot, but I don't see them doing this to like Batman or Superman, at least in main canon. I don't see in any of like the big books them doing that to like Batman or Superman, Barry Allen or Wally West. I don't see that happening. But then we get these pages, and there's a lot of articles written and some videos made, and people freaking out and going like, "Oh man, is Bruce Wayne bisexual? Or was he bi-curious at some point? Was he attracted to dudes at any point in his life?" And then we get the comic. The comic came out, and there's actual context to it. So let me tell you what happened first, and then I'll get into the actual context behind the page. So the page that came out that freaked everyone out was Bruce Wayne is with this guy. So let me give a little bit of context first. So this series is a retelling of Batman's origin. It's going from place to place of him learning everything. So he goes from one place in the world to learn how to fight, another place to learn how to be a good detective, another place to learn how to blend into his environment. Like he's learning all these different things, all these different masters. And that's what the series is about. Like each issue is a part. And in the issue prior to this, issue 4, he was learning to fight, and he met a guy that he becomes good friends with, and they both end up leaving like this dojo that they're training at in the mountains, and they become good friends and they leave together. And then in this issue, him and that guy are together. They're talking. Bruce is spilling his heart out to him, talking about how he's like, man, because this is a very young Bruce Wayne. He's like, I don't know if my mission's worth it. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm so lost and everything. And then his friend is comforting him. He's like, no, you're great. You're the best. And then they like lock eyes. Looks like they might lock lips soon. Like it's a very intimate moment. And this is where people are like, wait, what's going on here? Bruce is bi-curious or bisexual? What's going on? And so, understandably, a lot of people are worried about that with that page. But if you read the whole issue, in this issue, it's teaching Bruce to be Agent 47. That Bruce finds his master for a master disguise, essentially. In this, he finds someone that's going to teach him, an ex-KGB agent lady who can blend into any environment. She can become anyone. She is teaching Bruce how to blend in. She's honestly horrible at it, because literally she doesn't teach them anything. She just throws them into situations and goes blend in. Like it's really horrible. Like this series has been good but not great. I've been reading it, but before any of this controversy happened from the beginning, because I like Chip Zdarsky and him on a Batman book. Yeah, and he's also going to be taking over the main Batman book, by the way. That's another thing that had people worried about this, because it's not like, oh, this is just some random origin story for Batman. It's like, no, this is a book that is going to lead up to Chip Zdarsky taking over the main Bat book. So, this is probably going to be important to what he does in that Bat book. But anyways, in this issue, Bruce Wayne and his friend that he met in the previous issue at that like dojo in the mountains, they are both competing against each other. She's like, hey, go in here and do this thing to like get this intel that I need, get this book from this guy. And Bruce's friend ends up doing way better than him. Like the whole issue, Bruce is just basically getting his ass whooped when it comes to being a master of disguise and like getting what you want from people. He's horrible at it. He's not that suave Bruce Wayne yet. He can't do that yet. He can't flip a switch. He's still too much of himself and this young guy, to where his friend is very good at just flipping a switch. So they need this book from this guy. They go upstairs. Well, Bruce's friend and the guy go upstairs. Bruce's friend starts making out with the dude. Just starts locking lips, and they are kissing. Then he gets the book. They get out of there. Some stuff happens. Bruce fights some guys, but they get out of there. Then they're waiting to meet up with their master, who the KGB agent lady, ex-KGB agent lady, who's going to tell them what's going on, or who's going to like give them their assessment of their assignment. But before that, we get the pages that were released earlier this week that people were freaking out about, where Bruce is complaining. He's like, oh man, everything sucks, blah, blah, blah. And then they get close, they're about to kiss. But then the lady shows up. She's like, hey, did I interrupt anything? They're like, no, just a debrief. And she's like, man, it appears that your boy kicked your ass again, Bruce. He's just doing way better. And then Bruce is like, not so fast, and pulls out the book. And he's like, I couldn't have you beat me at like every step of the way. So Bruce wasn't actually interested in this guy. He just used his knowledge, which earlier in the mission, it was revealed that the guy's either he'll do anything for the mission, which I don't think so, or he's bisexual, because he was making out with that one general guy to get the information he needed. So that kind of revealed to Bruce that the guy's bisexual. So Bruce then used that to get close to him, because he figured this guy might have some attraction to me. He got close to him, reached into his jacket, got the book, and then was able to show the ex-KGB agent lady that he can, you know, adapt and do what he needs to do. So no, Bruce is not bisexual. He's not bi-curious. That was just him doing what he needed to do to get this from his friend. It was actually kind of interesting, but yeah, this is why I didn't make a video when the pages first came out, because I wanted to wait for the full context of the story. Because if this was a side character, then I was like, oh yeah, they're definitely going to be changing their sexuality. But it's Bruce Wayne. I did not think they'd be doing that. I could see them making Bruce Wayne whatever different sexuality they want in an Elseworlds story that's very clearly Elseworlds, but it would very much hurt the brand that they have and take a lot of fans away if they made him gay or bisexual or else, because that's just not Bruce Wayne. We have a history with this character. We know who he is. It would drive so many fans away, and they've been doing this a lot recently, a lot of characters, but Bruce Wayne would definitely, like, he is their cash cow. Batman is who carries DC. He's the only character they really promote. I doubted that they would do this. When I like first saw some stuff about this, I was like, I don't think, as dumb as DC is in a lot of ways, I don't think they're going to do this, because this hurts them really bad. This would drive so many fans away. And it turns out Bruce isn't bisexual. He was just seducing that guy to get what he wanted. That's all it was. He didn't end up doing anything. It didn't go any further. He doesn't actually have attraction to his friend, although that would add some weirdness to your friendship if you found out your friend was sexually interested in you, because that dude was ready to just flop spit with Bruce right there. So that was like, that's that definitely adds some awkwardness to the relationship now that you know your friend is romantically interested in you. But yeah, this series, I don't know, just beyond this part, the series has been good, but it's not great. It's been like 7 out of 10. I personally love Zdarsky's Daredevil run. It's been amazing so far. There have been some moments that great, but for the most part, it's really good. This hasn't reached that level. It's not near as good as his Daredevil run, but it's not bad. It's just kind of a series of like, oh, it's another Batman, or it's got some good art. It's not like anything amazing. Writing's good, but it's nothing amazing. There hasn't been anything that's really warranted to be like, oh, we needed this retelling of Batman's origin. It hasn't been anything special, but it's not bad either. It's just it's kind of another Bat book. That's it. It hasn't been bad, but it hasn't been great. It's like, it's solid. Like, if you want something to read, it's not bad, but it's nothing. Yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I saw so many people being excited and also freaking out about this. I wanted to clear the air. This is why you wait for the comic book to come out before you talk about it. At least that's why I did. But a lot of people were like jumping as soon as the pages came out, like, Batman's gay, and it's like, no, he's not. Yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys later.
Hey, skinny boy, saucy boy, I be running to the bank. Yeah, you know I hit the gas in the whip full tank. Riding past the ocean while I'm listening to Frank.